in habitus means not just dress, habillement, but it also means the physical presentation of the person. And that's been present for at least 250 years, I think, in medicine.
But when the dress, the habit become a dress, this does not, we must never forget that this implies a spiritualization of the dress. For the monk, the dress was not a dress, it was a habit. The belt was not a belt, not a belt cincher. It was not a cincher. Was the symbol that it was, not the symbol, the fact that he was a Miles Christ, a soldier of Christ. So when the dress becomes meaningful, at least in the beginning, the habit is not lost. The habit is both. And we have texts in which it's difficult to translate, difficult to understand. When we find a certain monastic literature, the term habitus, sometimes it's not easy to decide if we have to translate habitude or dress. Because as for them, the two coincided, it's not an external thing for them. So it was a symbol in a formal sense. It was a symbol in the sense of a complete coincidence. So every part of the habit was meaningful and implied a habit. If I dress like this, I will do this. Yes?
I was just going to comment that in terms of habitus, after the medieval era, from Descartes on, Latin, when these divides started happening, the idea of habit, there was a third term as well that I'm surprised hasn't been mentioned, a third anglicizing of habitus, habitat, the place I live in, as well. So I just kind of wanted to throw that in. I don't know, maybe just because of the idea of the habitus divided linguistically into the idea of habit, a smoker's habit, a clothing, and habitat, where I live.
Yeah. But in Latin, this was perceived very clearly.
Yeah.
So we in the rules they will speak about the communis habitatio, meaning dwelling. But again, sometimes habitatio and habitus for a Latin speaker, immediately they coincide, because they are, as probably you know, they come from the verb habeo, to have, and they are what we call a frequentative, an intensifier. So habitare is a frequentative, an intensification of to have, to behave. But also for the monk, we have sometimes inhabitatio means a virtue. It's strange, we have texts, didn't have time to read, where they say the first virtue of the monk is the inhabitatio. That can be translated that he must live in the monastery, but it's a virtue. So how it is a virtue to live? So it can be also an habit, an intensification of the habit. So in this moment, in the Latin, they are so very near. So habitus, habitatio, habit in the sense of dress, dressing, dwelling, and behaving are one. Probably they are right.
So is what you're saying that really...
You can say to habit in this sense, you must say to inhabit.
To inhabit.
Yeah.
Inhabit.
One can inhabit or dwell within the...
While in New Latin language, habitare, habito, we say them still the same way.
So would it be the case with that this medieval notion of habitus and its etymology is revealing or disclosing one particular condition of subjectivity where its more modern or contemporary uses are providing us with others? Like, when I wear a certain type of clothes, I have a smoker's habit, I live in a certain place.
And if you don't speak of subjectivity, but you speak of formal life, you see the person. So these things are all elements which will form life. So formal life is also made by that, habitatio, habitus, habit, dress. So we see that they try to constitute a form of life with everything that they can find. These are all ways of trying to realize a form of life. if they dress in this, why do they dress like this? It's not a strange idea, no, it's because it's a way to create an habitude, an habitatio, a form of life. They want to create a form of life, and they try with every means, continuous prayer, habit, calm living, meditatio. So it's an idea of regulating everything. It's an attempt to produce a form of life.
Another term that we haven't spoken about, ascesis. In the ascetical technologies, ascesis was originally a term that had to do with athletic exercise, and it was often military. And so the idea of unanimity of movement and coordination of movement, but also the idea of I'm losing it here.
It was an exercise.
It was an exercise. Sorry, forgive me, I lost it. Sorry.
No, the ascesis. No, it's very better. Not the ascesis, the Greek term for ascesis.
It became the English asceticism.
Way of exercising your life. First in gymnastic, sorry, but after spiritually.
I have it.
After spiritually.
But what I was going after, sorry for the lapsus there, is that also linked to the ascesis, to the performance of that, is also the idea of a uniform, in the way that a military maneuver or an athletic maneuver, an exercise, they were physical exercises, but also the idea of a spiritual exercise took on the notion of uniformity or unanimity, and actually the uniform in the dress or habitude. So I think that also is a relationship there.
In political phenomena, you have also this idea that the people who belong to a certain party, they will dress in the same way. They will wear a black shirt if they are fascist, etc. So it's not unknown to us. But there, in the beginning, we see really this idea of the habit, of the way of life. So it's not a sin, because for us modern, if we wear a certain dress, for example, the black shirt for a fascist, it is a symbol, not a form of life, I think. I say, I am a fascist, and I show this through the symbol. It's like to wear a sign. While it seems to me that for the monks, it was not a symbol. So it's when you find in books the symbolic meaning of the dress of the monk or of the priest, we could pay attention. It's not symbol in this modern sense. It implied immediately a form of life. One can say, yes, also the black shirt of the fascist means that he will, if you see a communist, he will beat him. So it implies an action. But it's more a symbol, while for the monk it was just to show the form of life.
Well, also it seems like it was in itself an action, like not.
Pardon?
It seems like it was also in itself an action. It's part of
Yeah.
what's defining the form.
Yeah,
of life.
it's not only a symbol in a formal sense. It's an action. It's a part of the way of living. And so that's why they had such a strong weight. We see that they give a lot of importance to the habit. It was not for formal reason. For instance, for the Franciscan, not to wear shoes. It's not because we must, we are poor. It was really part of their life. And it seems for us modern to try to see what all this became with the secularization, etc. But one thing is, for the first time, we see this not completely new thing, that rule and life enter in this strange